My first impressions were that the car is a blast. It's a lot of fun, and felt like I got reasonably up to speed okay. There's some more time out there. I think it'd be hard to find it, but the guys that run this car all the time and understand the challenges with trying to get in the corner. The braking's really different. The braking's almost like push-button braking. So you touch the pedal and it starts to clamp and starts to slow the car down. And so that was a little bit unusual to get to feel and try to adapt to. Steering was great. There's way more power steering. It's a lighter wheel, but it's very similar to what I use on iRacing. So that was easy to get accustomed to. The upshifts and downshifts, very, very, very easy. I was a little clumsy on my downshifts into the corner. I mean, the guys that run this car all the time, all those things come second nature, but it's challenging. Both ends of the track drove differently. I was really loose on 3 and 4 and pretty comfortable in 1 and 2. And I think if they had a race here, it'd be fantastic. I think it'd be a lot of fun.
I was going to ask you that. Do you think this would put on a great show for fans?
The show would be fantastic, and I think it's already sort of got this cult following in sim racing, in the sim racing world. The series in general is very exciting, well respected. People know when they tune into the MX-5, whether it's at Daytona or Road America, they're going to see a fantastic show. And I think that they know and want to be able to see what that might look like on a short track like Martinsville. And the sim world, has already sort of checked that box, and it's a good thing. So I would be, it would be tempting to want to come race. If they had a race here, it'd be very tempting for me and a lot of other people, especially oval racers, to come be a part of the series if they were to come to Martinsville.
So how wild is that to see it evolve from something like iRacing to the real world?
Well, the great thing about iRacing is you can run any combination, track and car, some of the most ridiculous things, and most of them are ridiculous, but some of them, sometimes you stumble onto these things that work and that go really well together. And I think this car in Martinsville would be one of those examples. And so I believe the powers the powers behind IMSA, NASCAR, all the people that really are kind of curious about this are moving in a good direction. This is something to explore. I think that it would be a nice complement to the series to come here to Martinsville. It'd be a good challenge for the entire series, drivers, mechanics, trying to find a balance and get the cars comfortable. And I think the NASCAR fans, the stock car fans, would absolutely embrace it. So then you got two, different worlds coming together, and that's great, right? When you get all the IMSA fans and the NASCAR fans coming together to watch this, that's what would happen. So it'd probably be pretty fantastic for the series.
So kind of along those lines, how do you think this could fit in with developing aspiring stock car drivers?
The thing about the NASCAR Cup level is it's gotten more and more diverse in terms of the types of tracks they run on. There's more road courses now than there were decades ago. The car itself is moving more toward independent rear suspension and all the types of things as you see on a lot of road course type cars. And so the transition, and we've seen this with a lot of international car drivers coming to Indy and so forth, it's because the car is easier to adapt to now than it was 5 or 10 years ago. If you wanted to go cup racing, if you didn't come up through the stock car, roadmap, you had more challenges to try to adapt to the car, the suspension, the way the car feels. That's no longer the case for guys that want to make it to the cup level. The new next-gen car really caters to basically any path you want to take to get there. And you could literally see a world where people can go through the IMSA ladder and choose to race sports cars, prototypes, and race in the Cup Series in the next-gen car, because they're much more similar today than they've ever been. And so, I think as NASCAR's leaned more towards road courses, towards a sports car style chassis, I think that it makes sense that IMSA and its heritage in road course would lean a little bit toward the ovals in some facets, right? And this is a great example of that. NASCAR wants a ladder series that really creates many opportunities, right? And so where 20 years ago to 30 years ago, to race in stock cars, get to the truck and Xfinity series, you came from the modifieds or the late model stocks. Some people came from the midget and dirt world, but it was rare. It was like when Dave Blaney came into the Cup Series, a lot of guys, didn't really believe that a dirt sprint car driver could come in and adapt. And that's no longer the case, and especially with the next gen, you can basically kind of come from any part of the world, any discipline of racing. You can grow up around road racing, like an Austin Cindric, and become a stock car racer or NASCAR driver in the Cup Series. You can come from anywhere. And so I think what NASCAR would love to do is the Mazda MX-5 series to be another complement to its brand and provide more opportunities for drivers through a ladder system to really go and adapt and be anything they want to be.